Hey everyone, welcome to Kayfabe 6. This is Mike and I'm with Dan, and today we're talking about Randy Orton and what the hell they're doing with this guy.
Oh man.
I think I'm gonna kick this one off
Yeah,
because
please do. It's all you.
this one is kind of funny because I can't say I'm a huge Randy Orton fan. Let me correct that. I've never liked Randy when he's been full face mode. I find that the crowd's never into it. He gets booed. It's
What, really?
yeah.
Never, even when he like broke apart from the Evolution, you didn't like that whole.
Well, I was kind of in and out of wrestling at the time. I kind of been over
Oh,
the
okay.
past 3 to 4 years,
Yeah.
where it was kind of I don't know, I guess a stalemate for him.
Gotcha.
Where him and Sheamus are getting booed out of the building and getting boring chants. But I've always liked Randy, and when he's been in a full engaged heel mode, when he's done both the fierce heel and the chicken shit heel. Last year, December 2013, during that whole authority thing with him and Bryan, I thought that match they had, it's kind of going back a bit, I don't know if you remember it, but it was on Raw and it was really good. Like he was fully engaged, he was selling his ass off, he was honestly a treat to watch. Coupled with the RKO, which is one of my favorite finishers, I was really interested to see what was going to happen with this current storyline when he came back, with them, authority essentially taking him out of commission by having him get curb stomped on cement, on a cement
I don't
block or
curious
whatever.
What the technicians created for that.
Whatever prop they used. And I think the build up until this comeback, I think, was just something a lot of people were looking forward to. And with his appearance at Fastlane, I felt like we were ready to hit the ground running. And for me, like I said, I'm not a huge Randy Orton fan. This particular storyline I was looking forward to, because I honestly feel that Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania might actually end up being one of the best matches. And this is prior to knowing about the IC title, possible 4-way or 6-way or whatever they're doing there. But I really think this has a way to have a good match. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed where on the following night, last Monday, that they have him essentially join the Authority again.
Yeah.
After all that was done to him, and not only join, but then when he does get mad, it has to do with Seth Rollins forcing a hot tag. That's what pisses you off, not the fact that you got curb stomped onto the cement block. So I don't know. I just wanted to sort of get your thoughts and everyone watching what their thoughts were. I know a lot of people are thinking that, oh, it's just Randy Orton setting up, for the turn, and he's just fooling with them. But I don't know if it's that deep. I think the WWE was trying to sort of rehash a storyline as if they thought we forgot. Ain't no one forgot. We all know that he was off air and why he was off air in kayfabe. So why wouldn't they just continue it? Why did they go through this whole thing with him, I guess, join the Authority again, just to build this back up for 3 weeks so that, him and Rollins face each other?
No, it's I absolutely agree with you, and it goes back to sometimes I find the WWE isn't the best when it comes to reading the audience and somewhat making decisions based on the audience. Like, how many times are we seeing now guys that are supposed to be heels being cheered like crazy, or guys that are supposed to be heels like Cena's getting booed like crazy. It's like the funniest thing in the world to me. That's something else, right? But yeah, like the reaction for Orton coming back was on the same level of Bryan entering the Royal Rumble. Like everyone, the entire arena went nuts when this guy's music started playing. Like, it's been something that, like, the whole face turn thing was something I've read about for a while now, but I didn't expect the audience to react the way they did. Like, the audience was already sold.
Yeah,
so why would they stick to that? Like, it's like as if the plan was written, set up, and they just felt the need to continue running with it, because the crowd is really behind Randy Orton. I don't know if it's become from all those Randy Orton vines where all of a sudden RKO's out of anywhere, but I don't know. It's really brutal for me to watch them slowly go to where we all know what's coming, especially after last night.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess for me, my mistake was envisioning what I was hoping was going to happen, and which was essentially just more of what happened at Fastlane. Essentially, Randy Orton coming out of the crowd or coming down the ramp, RKOing J&J, RKOing Big Show, RKOing Kane, RKOing Seth, and leaving.
Yeah.
Like, I always think to that Raw back in October where Triple H is standing between them like a father between two sons, and he's trying to calm down Randy, and Randy just pushes them away and RKO's Seth. It was one of the funniest moments of the year for me. It was hilarious watching Triple H's reactions. Steph's jaw dropped. J and J are looking at Seth on the ground. They cut to Seth, and he's like, lights out, and Randy Orton takes off down the ramp. I thought that was a great look for him. Not necessarily face, not necessarily heel, just sort of in that I don't really care mode. And I think that's what works best for him. So when he came back at Fastlane, I was like, oh, this is great. We're going to get like, 2 to 3 weeks of him just coming out, catching Seth slipping, RKOing him, taking off, eventually leading to demanding the match, which he'd eventually get. The last thing I was expecting was for him to join the Authority, I guess, the way that he did. Whether or not he's, playing them, I guess I was just expecting more. And then on top of that, now he's actually fighting faces, which even makes it even more confusing with the title match, with the tag match that was last week. But then him costing Reigns the match last night, it just I don't understand what's going on anymore at all. You think he would find a way to maybe screw over Seth, but yeah, it just.
Yeah, it's very weird how they're working Orton into the storyline, because it's like he's had maybe like I think it was last night he had 4 different segments where he came in out of nowhere. He was made out to be the bad guy. He was just kind of like, with the whole, you just see the awkward tension between everyone in the Authority and Randy Orton. Randy Orton still deciding to come out and, you know what, okay, help Rollins win that match against Reigns. But even when you saw Orton, I guess they're still trying to create the disconnect, because then you notice Orton like kind of distancing himself from the second he came out, and even when the match ended, completely walked away when Reigns ended up completely beating the hell out of most of the Authority right after the match, right?
Yep, he never came back. So what do you think's gonna happen? Do you think they're slow burning? Well, I guess slow burning. It's not really slow burning. We already know where it's gonna go. But
sure.
Do you think it's just gonna happen where he just again officially loses his cool and demands a match with Seth? Like, where does this go? We've actually already done this. Like, the climax of this whole thing already happened. It happened with him getting curb stomped through a cement block. Like, that was the climax leading up to us getting this match. Now we're going through this whole thing again. So where do you see this actually going?
Yeah, they really they really need to realize that fans are a lot smarter than than they think.
They actually thought we were all going to forget. And I remember there's a quote that, goes around the internet from an article. I forget it was from Jericho, but it's to the effect of McMahon saying, like, nobody remembers that. It's like this big joke now when anything like this happens that, nobody's going to remember that. But people are going to remember that because it didn't happen that long ago. We're talking like 4 months out.
No, it's true.
So do you think we're just going to end up getting this with Randy Orton semi with the Authority, and then, I don't know, something will happen 2 weeks out before Mania that just forces this match? Or do you think they're going to speed this thing up for next Monday and have the big blow up?
Call me the devil advocate here, but there's 2 ways to go with this. Like, because everyone's been calling this whole Orton versus Rollins match at WrestleMania, realistically, like, that's the only thing to do at this point. And please, for the love of God, let's speed it up and get to the point.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another angle that could be done here. But the only issue is what happens with Rollins, as the schedule is already there's nothing really happening yet. Because think about it like this: is last night they started finally introducing the fact that this guy has a case, despite the fact he's been getting title shots.
Right.
That he can finally cash in on Reigns. Nobody has every single person cashing in the Money in the Bank has won the title.
Right.
What if Rollins were to try to cash in the Money in the Bank on WrestleMania, and rather it's Reigns or Brock, most likely Reigns, and Randy Orton's the one that screws him over, causing him to be the first person to ever the first person to not benefit from Money in the Bank, because they won't put the belt around a guy that's been caught on the internet with his wang out. He's not getting the belt anytime soon. He's going to be a good long-term guy, but I don't think they're going to give him the belt.
So do you think they would actually not have these two have a match just to have Orton screw over Seth at the end? Or do you think that they'll have the blow up sooner? They will have the match, and Seth will actually try to cash in later in the night where Randy Orton just comes out to screw him over again.
Yeah, that's, I think, is going to be the most likely of all scenarios. Personally, I would love it if they have the match at WrestleMania, because let's face it, we have a month worth of months of build up to make this a really good match. And both guys are game athletes, really good wrestlers.
But Seth does have 3 months after that to cash in that. The
That is
briefcase.
true. Like it goes to Money in the Bank to Money in the Bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's even I would even love it if like Orton stole the case from Rollins and cashed it in himself, for Christ's sakes. Like I really want to see something different in regards to the Money in the Bank, like how people cash in on it.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be. I'm really kind of. I'm disappointed, but now I'm actually curious to see how they're gonna, save the storyline. If they're even attempt to save it, or are they just gonna think that we don't remember anything from back in the fall, or are they gonna build this thing up right? But with 4 weeks to go, if they were able to, if they're able to figure out something, I really do think this match could have the potential to steal the show at WrestleMania. Outside of that, rumored ladder match, I think this is the one that I think could be a lot of fun. I think Seth would sell his butt off, and I think Randy would be in tip-top form once you add in all the nonsense of J&J, who I always find fun when they're involved in these matches as like the Stooges.
Oh yeah.
I just wish, like you said, they just get to the point and just officially announce that these two are gonna fight, as opposed to rehashing the storyline that's already been done.
Yeah, like they're really taking their time with it. Even like last night, the odd little moments where it was a Jon Stewart kicked Rollins in the nuts because Rollins got distracted when Randy Orton's music played. Like
Right.
it's just childish. Like the heat between these guys is obvious. Let's build off from that, the whole curb stomp on that.
The Jon Stewart dynamic will be pretty interesting. Will he be a guy that comes out and like assists Orton, or
It was a cool little segment actually. Like I think Jon Stewart called Rollins, what was it? A SWAT team stripper with Lady Gaga hair. Like so, it was pretty cool. Like I kind of hoped he kind of ripped him on the whole picture incident, but obviously I think WWE must have put a big gag order on that one. But either way, there really is a lot of cool options. But so far, I don't think there is a big celebrity. There always is a celebrity involved somewhere or another in WrestleMania. So you know what? Who knows? Jon Stewart could be that guy, come out and help Orton win, and then and it's a huge moment as Orton continues to be a face and he celebrates with Jon Stewart, or even if you are like, it's really, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but I just want them to get to the point already.
I think it'd be pretty fun to see Jon Stewart nail an RKO on Seth.
Or even just an RKO on like J&J Security.
Yeah, great. Well, let us know what you guys think. Subscribe, like, comment. Let us know how you feel about what the E has done with Randy there. And yeah, thanks for listening.
All right, have a good one.